So today's topic is all about why you might be losing proposals. So I talked to a lot of companies that have submitted 5, 10, 15, 20 bids, and they can't figure out why. Now, one of the best pieces of advice is always to get a debrief to figure out why. Even if you've won, go ahead and ask for an informal debrief. That'll help you figure out some of the reasons. But I want to talk about some of the other things today. Most people think it's all about price. I even talked to someone yesterday that said somebody else's price was way higher than mine, and they still chose them. What does that tell you? It's not always about price. In fact, I would argue it's almost always about how you articulate your value. How clearly are you articulating your value? You can't just say you were on a project. Like I was on this particular project for the Air Force, and everybody knows the project, so you should know about all the things that I've done. No, you can't do that. You've got to drill down for them to be able to communicate like your value and your past performance by saying things like, we serviced over 25,000 accounts on this one particular project that had a span of 4 years, and during that 4 years we served 1,200 locations around the globe. I mean, like, really dig into like the metrics of what you did and then how that helped. Like, doing this, we actually achieved an 87% increase in mission effectiveness. We achieved a 32% increase in the rate of data transfers, and this is how it impacted the mission. This allowed them to reduce attack time or whatever. Like, you've got to dig down to be able to articulate the value that you have brought to your clients in order for someone to say, oh, wow, these are the things they've done. Because they're always asking about past performance, right? What projects have you done that are similar to this, and what value did you provide? And again, if you just, give a 3-paragraph write-up that's all fluff, then you don't stand out. So how you're clearly articulating your value is a really, really big deal. The other thing that I hear a lot from people is they're using boilerplate material, or they've customized a write-up, and they've like, oh, we've put so much time into this write-up about our company or whatever, and this is what we use. And I'm like, well, then how did you customize it for the opportunity? And they're like, did you not hear what we said? We spent so much time creating this write-up about our company. Why would we modify it? Okay, back up for a minute. Take your write-up that you've spent all this time crafting and put it on your website, but then slightly customize it for the opportunity. So let me say that again. Slightly customize it for the opportunity so that it reflects the value you're going to provide them that's relevant. That's the key word there. That's relevant to the opportunity. Just because you've worked on mission systems for the Army and you're really proud of that, that's a really good thing. But now you've got to be able to articulate how that's going to be, tangible on this particular contract. So, customize those boilerplate pieces, because boilerplates, they're good for having a starting point, but that's all they are. They're a starting point that you need to customize for every single opportunity. There's rarely a time where you're going to copy and paste it and not touch it. Okay, so customize all those different things. So another thing that I run into a lot is I see people that they're responding to opportunities where this is the first time they've heard about it. It's the first time they've heard about it. They don't know anything about the customer. And so I'm always saying, does the customer even know you? The answer is usually no. The better question is, do you know the customer? So what homework have you done to figure out the customer? Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you'll hear about an RFP. There's not a lot of time, but you want to get on that customer's radar. Sometimes you go ahead and go through the process knowing you're going to lose to set up the next one. So you may go ahead and go through, because you never know. You could win. There's a chance you could win. But this is how you're going to get on their radar. So act like it. Act like you're using this to get on their radar. And then the magic is in the follow-up. So how you follow up after the RFP process, through your debriefings, through your conversations with the contracting officer or the program managers and those different people after it, so that you can be in line for the next opportunity. Because a lot of times the first few RFPs you respond to, you're not going to win. It's just the way it is. It's okay, but it should be a learning opportunity. If you're not learning from it and applying it to the next one, that's why you're going to keep losing and losing over and over and over again. If you're going from one agency to another and just doing RFPs, you're not getting on everyone's radar and staying there. So like, I want to get on the radar and then stay there. It's, if you just reply to, let's say, an Air Force one, and then you lose that, so you hop off and you go to an Army one, it's like you jumped on the radar and then you fell off the radar. And then you jumped on the radar and you fell off the radar. Like, I want to get on your radar and then get closer and closer and closer to my actual client. And so that's why sometimes when you lose these, you need to look at them as a learning opportunity to help you move closer to the client. And so one of the things that I talk about with a lot of clients is you've got to get clear on what your client is even doing. And you can do that through a lot of ways. You can do that by doing research on their website, on their LinkedIn profiles. You can do that by talking to the small business office, by talking to the contracting officer, by talking to the program managers. You can do that by all those ways and use all of these together. Okay? Use responding to these RFPs, talking to these people, doing your research. Use it all together over time to really get on their radar, get known, get trusted by this customer, so that when you fill out the next RFP, they know it's you by the level of sophistication, by the language you use when you're responding to that RFP. So try these tips. Let me know how they work. If you have questions, as always, you can reach out to us. And guess what? I'll see you next time.